Hugh Freeze out at Auburn.
Yeah.
15-19, 2 seasons at Auburn, 6-16 in SEC games, 24 or fewer points in 17 of those 22 SEC games. He was known as an offensive guy, a quarterback whisperer, and the quarterback game and the offensive game just never got going. Didn't matter who's quarterback, didn't matter how good of talented receivers they were there at Auburn, and we knew how talented they were and are right now. It just never clicked, unfortunately. Surprised, not surprised, right move, not right move for the Auburn Tigers.
I think I'm, 2 years is quick, man. And it's just one of these things. Yeah. But it's just one of these things, like, who wants these jobs when they keep happening like this, right? Like when there's so much turnover, there's so much toxic nature. Like it's kind of it's a little degrading, like to the position, right? For that school. Like if you look at the history of some of these schools and you see, okay, it's like 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 3. It's like, why do I want to go there? Why do you think I'm different? And just if I don't make somebody happy, or if I don't get the right thing, or if I have a hurt quarterback, not saying this is the case, but just in general, why would I want to go there? So I'm a little just interested of how does this keep happening? Where do we keep going with these? When's enough time? When do you give a guy enough time? And even with, some of his comments, in the last couple of weeks, and maybe he knew, like maybe it's just a matter of when you're going to do it. Maybe he already knew he was out. But when he came out and was like, I'd really like a vote of confidence from my AD, I was like, well, this is over. I mean, this is done. So I don't know, man. It's a weird thing. And I just think about that, like the next guy, seeing how this is handled, what it is, like how does that limit you in some regard for the next person you try to go get?
No, I get it, but I think at the end of the day, it's still an SEC job. It's a high-paying job, and this is now back-to-back coaches that have been given a very short lease. Brian Harsin was only there a couple of years.
Right.
Now Hugh's only there for less than 3 years as well. I think it was not a shocker. Like with how bad they've been playing, you've been kind of waiting for them to pull the plug at some point this season. And last night was kind of just like the final, like no more. This enough's enough already. You cannot lose to Kentucky, who is viewed as the worst program in the SEC, in your home stadium. And then once again, be abysmal on the offense side of the football, where that's how you really got your name and got going. It's because of offense and the excitement of offense. And like I said, high-powered offense and scoring and whatever. And to score 3 points, 3 points, and to have been that bad at figuring out the main position in college football for now 3 years, when you're supposed to be the man who knows that position better or as good as anyone else in college football, is a big misstep. And right now, I think it's kind of everyone's trying to get to the top. Everyone's trying to be Georgia or Texas, or obviously compete with the Oregons and the Ohio States of the world. And it's always like this. It's like this in the NFL. I'll say this. In the NFL, it's always a question of, do you have a quarterback that can win a championship? And if you don't, then you will be drafting a quarterback the next year that you believe you can build a championship team around, or you'll get someone in free agency that's an upgrade from what you had because you don't have a quarterback that can win a championship. That's always that's what everyone talks about. Do I not have a championship quarterback? Yeah. College football, yes, it's about the quarterback position, other positions, but it's about, do I have a championship caliber coach or do I not? And right now, you cannot tell me after 3 years or almost 3 years at Auburn that you believe Hugh Freeze is a championship caliber coach right now. Yeah. He's not. And you got to bite the bullet. And guess what? At least it's not $50-something million like some of these other buyouts at the moment.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because actually it is. When you add it all up, they've paid, no, not just him, but I had to find this because when I was talking about it earlier, this is their in 7 years. This is their fourth different coach with a total of 52.5 that they are still paying buyouts to.
Oh.
It's buyout you. Chris Lowe called them buyout you. That's Auburn. That's what y'all are. That's the perception right now. And that's what I'm talking about. Who wants to go there? You're just going to get fired.
But
And
you're going to get paid a boatload of money, though, to get fired. Who cares?
so, and then it's over. So sure, like if that's what they want. But guess what, Auburn? You better know that's what you're getting. You're going to get a guy that's a quitter that just wants you to pay him.
No, I don't think anyone's
end of the
going.
day.
No one's going to take this job with the mindset of like, oh, well, I'm just here.
Why
to get the
wouldn't
money.
they? It proof's in the pudding. 4 guys in 7 years. That's what I would do. Why not? You're done. Retire. You can be an analyst if you still want to coach.
You can do that, but at the end of the day, you can do that anywhere in the SEC. You can take any job in the SEC, and there's going to be a massive guaranteed buyout.
Maybe.
Auburn is no different than 85% of the other jobs in that conference.
Well, 25% of them are looking for new head coaches. So I don't know what we're
maybe
doing.
Maybe up to 50% soon. I still don't think.
I
don't think Mark Stoops is off the hot seat at all.
Yeah, right. I agree with you. I think the other interesting thing about what you said there, because I'm not saying you're wrong. I think it's just a crazy mindset. How many coaches right now have a national championship? 3 that are active in all of college football. And you're telling me that the other 132 teams are thinking, do we have a championship guy? Well, there's only 3 of them in the world that have that right now. So it's so baffling to me.
But
that you're right.
So bad at all.
You're right.
It's
you're right.
Bad.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm talking about everybody firing coaches. You are right.
I get it.
But we can't just think that way. It can't just be natty or butt because you're going to fire people every other year.
It's unfortunate, but that is. I agree. I think Penn State was idiotic getting rid of James Franklin.
Right.
I somewhat get the LSU one because it has been underachieving pretty big time in the culture fit and everything else that we've talked about with Brian Kelly. This one, I don't disagree. I don't agree with people like, oh, the culture fit wasn't there. Like, I don't agree with that nonsense. Mm-hmm. He just wasn't producing and he wasn't creating offense and they weren't winning games and they weren't scoring points. And I think
it's more of a big picture thing. I agree. I mean, I agree with it.
This one made to me, this is of all the firings, this one made the most sense. Like this makes more sense even to Brian Kelly and LSU. I think this was like not surprised at all.
I agree.
Like the Brian Kelly one, you could still say like, are they not going to get rid of him after, dealing with $50+ million buyout? Like that's still a lot of money. But this one was like, this was right. This was the right move by Auburn. So now the question is, who replaces him? And here's some of the names. Summerall, obviously, which I think should be the number one guy. I think this should be done and dusted. Call Tulane, call him. Hey, you're our guy. Let's sign it. Let's get this over with. I don't care that he lost this past weekend. Yeah. That is a damn good football coach that is ready to make the move to a Power 4 school. And I think that would be the perfect location. So I think he is number one. Fran Brown, Jeff Brom, I think, kind of always in the conversation. Our boy Jimbo Fisher, great conversation. If you have not watched it, go watch our conversation with Jimbo Fisher from last week. Dan Mullen at UNLV, I think that they lost their second straight game this past weekend. They were rolling early this season. That's an interesting name. Eric Morris, I had Eric Morris this past weekend. He ain't going to be at North Texas next year. Yeah. And guess what? He's probably going to bring his elite quarterback with him. So you get 2 for 1, baby. You get 2 for, and probably their running back too.
Hey, it's something to think about. It's something to think about.
Back, you get a brand new running back, quarterback, and head coach.
Right.
Freaking 3-man package, baby. Let's go.
Who you think Summerall's the number one though?
I think Summerall has to be the guy. I said this 2 weeks ago on a show. I said, if Auburn job comes open, Summerall has to be your first call. Obviously, like you're gonna call Lane. Lane ain't going to Auburn. If Lane has the option to go to LSU, Florida, State, Ole Miss, or go to Auburn, he ain't going to Auburn. So let's not even joke. Like, unless you're going to pay him $30 million a year, Lane ain't going to Auburn. So I think Summerall makes the most sense, and Summerall would jump on it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I agree. I think between Fran Brown, and you just have to think about, like, what do you want? Like, Fran, I think Fran's going to get a lot of love this cycle because I think there's going to be some guys that – maybe people think they can get that they don't get. And then you see a guy like Fran, who is an excellent recruiter, is an excellent CEO of a program. Yep. You put him in the SEC with that type of money, that type of resources, Look out. You see what he did at Georgia. I mean, he was the best recruiter of the year, I think a couple of times on those national championship teams. What'd he go? Just go to Syracuse. His first year ever being a head coach. Never been a coordinator, never been a head coach, wins 10 games and brings in a boatload of talent that is in the
They would be
NFL
better
right
this
now.
year too if their quarterback didn't get hurt.
They beat Clemson by 20 in Clemson, and then the quarterback snaps his leg in half, and they're a totally different, they're a shell of themselves. So,
Yep.
yes, I totally agree with that. I think he ends up somewhere. I don't know where. And he might not want it. Maybe he's happy at Syracuse. But I would love to see Fran Brown.
He's a good name for a lot of these.
Yeah, with a bunch of money.
I do like that one a lot. Yeah. All right. Well, DJ Durkin, interim head coach right now I love DJ. Obviously, that defense is rolling right now.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can kind of get some juice. And they don't have the quarterback. I mean, plain and simple, they don't got the guy back there. So it's going to be more of the same for Auburn, unfortunately, and going to be interesting to see who they